We want to talk about something now that impacts so many of you. That is the housing market. For so long, it's been out of reach for a lot of people as prices were spiking. There's a bit of a settling now that could bring some more opportunity. This week, we got some information that the new median average home price here is about $332,000. So price is still high, but the trends are something we really want to look at and how that could impact people who want to break into the housing market, perhaps for the first time. We want to bring in the National Director of Residential Analytics for Homes.com, Erika Ludvigsen. Erika, thanks so much for the time. I know April, May, usually very busy times in the real estate market. What are you seeing in terms of trends right now?
Yeah, so such an exciting time. The spring selling season, is really where we start to see that momentum in the housing market. So, so far, what we're seeing it feels to me to be a bit of a lackluster start to the spring selling season. And I'll tell you a little bit why I say that. We are seeing our inventory increase. Prices in Atlanta are holding flat, which is great news for potential buyers. And we are seeing home sales decline as compared to last year. So really, in the next few months, we'll really see if the velocity accelerates, and what really may come to pass. But, in Atlanta as a whole, although I'm saying the market may feel a little slow, it's certainly not weak or collapsing. Buyers are more cautious, but in Atlanta, in 2025, we were the third metro in the nation in terms of population growth. We have a strong job base, and all of these really support housing fundamentals.
You mentioned inventory, so that's basically selection. People have more choices because more homes are for sale. It struck me that it was a 15% increase year over year, which is a big jump. What do you think is driving that change?
People are they're taking longer to make the buying decision. The demand is there, buyers are active in the market. And as I just discussed, we have the population, the wage growth, and the jobs to support transactions, but people are just more cautious. They're taking longer to make those decisions. And what I've observed, here in Atlanta, that, a well-priced home in a desirable area will continue to see demand and transact quickly. So areas in town, they may have great lifestyle, great access to MARTA, great schools. So places like Virginia Highlands and Morningside, Chastain Park, Kirkland, East Atlanta have great demand. Norcross, Tucker, East Cobb, parts of North Fulton County. And where we're seeing more of the softness are some of our outerlying suburbs and outerlying counties here in Atlanta.
That's interesting. It's interesting. There are a lot of factors that might be involved in that, and my mind immediately went to traffic and gas prices, but we're not sure exactly. Can we talk about big picture for a little bit? For so long, it had been a seller's market, a seller's market. Is it shifting kind of overall? Do you feel now to be more of a buyer's market?
I would say we are in a balanced market, and it might be buyer-ish. We don't have enough data yet to really make that call. So in my lens, we're balanced, perhaps seller-ish, or rather buyer-ish, excuse me. But again, the further we head into the spring selling season and the more we learn in coming months, we'll really be able to continue to evaluate the fundamentals, the inventory on the market, the price levels, where we're seeing homes transact, to kind of see how that story shapes out.
You mentioned it's pretty flat light right now, but for those who are out looking at houses, would you tell them they have a little bit more negotiating power right now than they may have had a year or 2 years ago?
Absolutely. In what I described as a balanced market, that means that sellers have more choice. there's more for sale on the market. There's more that they can look at to really find the right fit for them. And they absolutely have more negotiating power. And the flip side is that sellers need to adjust that we are out of, this really hyper competitive market and just transition to a new normal here in Atlanta.
We're seeing more condos and townhomes struggle compared to maybe single family homes. Talk us through why you think that might be playing out that way.
Yeah, so Atlanta, if you look at the total inventory of housing stock, Atlanta is really tilted toward single family heavy. That being said, my thoughts on why we are seeing the townhome and the condo inventory build on the market is that those are typically the segments where buyers will purchase their first home, whether that is into a condominium or is into a townhome. And we know right now, because of the ongoing affordability with the ongoing affordability issues, the stubbornly high home prices, and interest rates that are, in the 6% range, it's more and more difficult for people to enter the housing market as first-time home buyers.
You just hit the nail on the head. I was just going to ask you about affordability still being a massive challenge, really across the board for so many people, but especially as we're talking about home prices. Affordable housing is a conversation in about every city around Metro Atlanta right now. Are we seeing any signs of relief coming? What kind of is that bigger picture as some people wonder, when will I finally be able to break through?
It's hard to say. The we continue to monitor affordability and how that looks across Atlanta and different markets around the country. Atlanta does continue to transact at a premium compared to the nation overall, which doesn't help affordability here in our metro. But we're in, as I said, a slower market, not a weak or a collapsing market. So perhaps as the spring selling season goes on, we may see some fundamentals shift. But gosh, my advice would be just, continue to stay active, continue to work with a realtor, be active, and when the right home comes along, be ready to transact.
Erika Ludvigsen, the National Director of Residential Analysis for Homes.com. Really appreciate the insight. Helps a lot of people as they're thinking about their potential next steps. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.